I ordered... How many things did I order? I ordered 6 items from Wish for my Dungeons and Dragons and Warhammer miniatures. Hold on, I'll show you what I ordered and what I think about them. One of my favorite things about the Warhammer and miniature gaming hobby is that there are so many different things to try out. Every week there are new stuff that's released, there are new products you can try out, and new techniques that you haven't heard of before that you just need something small to test out. The bad thing, there's a lot of things to try out, and if you want to buy them all, it's gonna cost you a lot of money. Luckily, there's a bunch of different websites that sell stuff at a much lower price, like Wish or AliExpress. So I went on to Wish's website and I ordered 6 items that I wanted to try for Warhammer. So let's jump into the things I ordered, see how well they performed, and maybe find out if they're good or bad. So are you one of those who paint for competitions? Maybe post a lot of pictures of your miniatures on the internet, or have an Instagram account where you want to flash nice videos of your minis. For me, this was one of the things I felt like I really wanted to have before I started up this YouTube channel. This is a rotary display stand. The prices range from $40 and sometimes even over $100 for a rotary display stand, and just to try this thing out, I thought that was a bit much money, so I decided to pick one out on Wish. I could find a couple of different ones, and some of them were more expensive, and it was a bit hard to actually see how they looked and how big they were and how they worked. That's one of the negative things about Wish. You don't always see the instruction and the functionality there. So I paid $7 for this one, and it took me almost 2 months for it to arrive. And the first thing that happened when I got this old box, it looked like it was literally from the 90s. The first thing that happens when I pick this up is that the bottom and the inside just falls off the outer case here. Probably because it's been in a shelf for a very long time, so the plastic inside had dried. Luckily I could fix it with some super glue, and now it's working completely fine. And you can either use this one by using a DC adapter, plugging it in on the side, or do as I do, just plug in regular AA batteries in here. And the functionality on this one is super simple. You have 2 different ways of using it, either pressing on and it spins, and you have some LED lights in here that changes color and shines weirdly on your miniatures. And you also have a different step when you only have lights. And the speed of it spinning, it's actually really slow, so when I film videos of it, I always have to speed it up in the post process because it's just so slow. If you're having it in a display stand in a store or maybe on a competition, the speed is probably quite fine. Another problem I found with this one is the mirror in here and the lights, of course. It's quite bothering to have it when you want the focus to be on your miniature. So another recommendation would be to maybe spray it black. I'm going to do it with this one. So what I think about this one? Well, I don't really mind that it broke when I got it. That's totally fine. I paid $7 for it. It's like 1/4 of the price of one of these in Sweden. The problem I have with it is the functionality. It's a bit too slow for me. I give it a solid 7. For the price, it's worth it, but it's not really that good. Dropper bottles. I don't know how many times every day I get this question. I almost feel obligated to at least address it in a video. Where do I get my dropper bottles, and how do I transfer the paints from the Citadel bottle over to the dropper bottles? And today you find out and get these tiny bottles from Wish. And as you might have seen on my paint shelf over here, I have about 70 different Citadel paints that I transferred to these dropper bottles. It's quite a messy process, and it's not a fast one either. And these dropper bottles come in these 50 packs. I ordered the 20 milliliter ones, but they're a bit bigger than the Vallejo bottles, so I would probably recommend you to order 15 milliliters if you can find them. So how do I do to get them transferred easily to these bottles? Well, it depends on the paint. These Games Workshop paints have different viscosities. Some of them are quite easy to transfer. You don't need to thin them out with anything. And some of them you need a couple of drops of either water or flow improver. I've tried the regular flow improver, airbrush flow improver, airbrush thinner, and just regular water. And to be honest, all of them work perfectly fine. I can't remember which bottle I used which technique with, and I can't tell the difference. And if you notice a big difference, let me know in the comment sections down below. I'd love to hear your opinion on this, but for me, I couldn't care less. And the thing is, the problem still remains. When I'm done with the pouring, I still have a lot left in the bottom of the bottle. So I always have to go in with an old brush and just scoop it out and put it into the new dropper bottles. But if you want to get all fancy, maybe you have a 3D printer, you can use one of these funnels that I found. They're free to download over at Baffo Miniatures, and I put the link in the description down below. You can print one of these and they snap onto these Citadel bottles, and then you just put the dropper bottles on top and just turn it upside down. This way you don't have the same spill, it's not as messy, but still not perfect. So Games Workshop, fix your bottles, please. And another thing to keep in mind, I do this over plenty of different evenings. This is not something that you stress with over the day. Take it easy, don't be stressed with it. I kind of consider this meditation. This is something I can do in the evenings when I feel tired of painting and I don't want to build something. Just transferring paints to a new bottle, that gives me peace of mind. So don't stress about it, try it out, see what works for you. That's my recommendation. And if I would grade these bottles, 10 out of 10. I'd buy them again. And I have, I guess. Glass beads. Okay, yeah, I admit, for some people this might seem far-fetched, but if you watched my how to make a water-based video up here, or maybe you watched my how to make a drool effect video up here, you see that I use these glass beads for different special effects on the miniatures. And I know they can be quite hard to find, so I thought I'd order a couple of different ones from Wish to see if I can find a good pack on Wish. But we want the perfect size. We want the diameter to be about 1 to 1.2 millimeters wide. So I ordered 3 different packs. Luckily, the third pack I got was the perfect size. They have a bit of a glossy finish, but that disappears once you seal it with a water effect or gloss varnish. It's gonna be hard for me to link to the products because the products on Wish just disappear super fast and they change really quickly. But I'm linking what works right now, and if you can't find it, search for transparent glass beads or transparent caviar beads. And hopefully you'll find something good. And I would grade this one 1 and maybe 8. I don't know. It's a really hard one to grade. The ones that look good, they look good, but it's a bit of a risk to order. Hopefully you're in a situation where you can order from 2-3 different vendors and you find one that suits your needs. Hit the like button, that really helps me out, and leave a comment if you found some epic bargain on Amazon or Wish or AliExpress. Maybe something unconventional that people wouldn't consider the traditional Warhammer tools. Birch seeds. I love using birch seeds for basing. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can check this video up here. About 3 minutes in, I show you how to use birch seeds for basing. And in a moment of weakness, or to be honest, it was winter here and I really needed some birch seeds, and when we have like 1.5 meters of snow, it's quite hard to find these birch seeds. So I found this pack for $7 on Wish. And it arrived in this tiny bottle filled with these birch seeds that someone else picked for you. And they look exactly like you expect birch seeds to look. Nothing different here. I got a pack of birch seeds, exactly what I ordered. So, can I recommend this? Well, the problem is, since I ordered it, they actually removed it from their store. So, I don't know if you can get it on Wish. Go on to Wish and search for birch seeds. If you're lucky, maybe you can find them. I give it a solid 7 out of 100 billion. Miniature painting brushes. I don't always order crappy stuff on Wish. This is actually something very useful. These are TING nylon brushes, and you've probably seen me use these in a lot of videos. So, what are special about these brushes? Well, pretty much nothing. These are just a regular hobby brush, nylon brush. You can get them at your local hobby store. The problem, at least with the hobby stores here in Sweden, is that these brushes cost $4 for one brush. So one brush for $4 or 12 brushes for $2. I think you can do the math. And I use these brushes on a daily basis. On anything from using metallic paints when I don't want my expensive brushes to be worn down, to painting 3D printed stuff or just base painting a bigger Games Workshop model. The smallest brush I got is probably like a size 2 from a Winsor Newton or Raphael brush. These have a great snap, a big round belly, and they're really nice to use. In terms of value, I'd probably say it's worth the $4 or $5 that one cost in the hobby store in Sweden, but here I can get 12 for the same price. It's a no-brainer. I give it a solid 11 out of 10. And we're on the last one. NEODYMAGNETS? I think that's how it's pronounced. These magnets are magnets. I've used these on the tiny miniatures where I just need to be able to swap an arm like these Kurnoth Hunters, or just a bolter on a Space Marine. But I've also used them on bigger monsters like these Beastclaw Raiders, where I can swap it from being a Thunder Tusk to a Stonehorn. I recommend you to order a couple of different sizes, and I use these for different things. The bigger ones obviously for bigger monsters, and the smaller for just regular arms and bolters, etc. If somebody has the question down below which size they need, help them out. I give magnets 10 out of 10. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and show me how many likes Wish stuff for Warhammer can get. Huge thanks to all my Patreon supporters. Special thanks to all the $10+ supporters you can see here. All the new ones since last week, such as Martin Wolf, Ryan Minix, Robin Löttman, Ultra Peasant, Rasmus Nielsen, Kim Morten Nissen, Bobby Edney, and Jimmy Hall. And I don't want to forget my top Patreon supporter, Albin Åström. Super thanks everyone again for just kickstarting this Patreon campaign. I'm just super grateful for what you do. And with that said, have a great day. Bye.